I liked at the end how he didn't just let it go out. He really wanted the business. He wanted a chance, so he made sure that that Lou was going to give him a chance at the business. He didn't just say, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just wait." He's like, "No, I do want the business. What I need."
And how do you do that? Give me an example how you do that.
Well, like at the very end when he said, "Yeah, I'll do this and that and this and that if you let us look at more of your actual business."
So operations, looking at his business, trying to see if there's any more value that he provided them.
Yeah, he didn't just give up. He made sure that Blue knew that he wanted the business.
Sandeep, you made something good.
Yes, sir. I think he did really nice right up front on detailing the savings. And when the question came up about, I forget it, oh yeah, handling charges, he told Lou, hey, listen, we're discounting it by 30%. They're not going away, it's here, but you're gonna pay less. So I think that kind of put an end to that concern that was coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's not going away 100%, right? So we know that, but we're offering a discount, which he wasn't getting anything from FedEx.
And he knew he was, one thing I forgot to say, Phil knows all the additional charges he's gonna get hit with and he's okay with it, but if we don't stand by our word of we're gonna discount it, and then it doesn't show up on his invoice, that was his biggest thing with FedEx, was they kind of gave him a big discount and just took it away and didn't tell him.
Yeah, what I will say though is nobody's okay with the charges.
Sure.
They may understand them, but especially as they grow and we add new ones or whatever it is, at some point, especially with an owner, when it hits them in the pocketbook, they don't understand.
Sure.
They'll tolerate, but they don't understand.
Right.
And if they're smart, they'll always ask you for more. So they're not always smart.
So what do you think you did well?
I think I did good on, well, first I feel like I did slow down a lot and gave a little bit more of an explanation instead of either tripping over my words or making Lou or Phil, in a sense, have to kind of catch up to me. I feel like I did ask some good questions in regards to how it impacted him, his rapport, his clients, to build pain a little bit more so that he saw that, yeah, this isn't something I want to go through again, you're right. That's what I think I did well. And then my capital explanation, I just love capital, I tried to put that in there.
What do you think would have happened if he would have said, and you said, how does it make you feel? A lot of times that's how you're doing a test to summarize and the pain. What if he would have just said, like, I really didn't feel anything, it wasn't a big deal? How would you approach it at that point?
I mean, and are you talking about when losing money?
Well, there were,
Because I've had a client tell me that before, and my response to them was, so let me understand this, you're telling me you're okay with losing money on a consistent basis. And then I kind of just stopped.
Okay.
And then he came back and was like, no, I don't want to lose money on a consistent basis. I'm like, that's what's happening right now when you're doing this process, basically. That's what I probably would have responded with from that. Is that a fair response, do you think?
well, yeah, I think when you're pointing out the fact that you're saving $3.09, I think, for $3.66 per package on that, I think you have to hit home on it. Now, the only thing is, I mean, is $6,000 like a showstopper, or is it gonna knock you out of the park? I don't know. I mean, that's a small amount, but I guess it's better than where it was at. That's my only contention with that, but I would focus on maybe the 366 individually as well too, because that 6,000 is going to be based upon what the volume is as of right now.
Right.
That volume goes up, it's going to get bigger.
Right.
So I think you got to kind of play it in that range too. Somebody might look at $6,000 and go, big deal.
Right.
It's there. I mean, you got to account for it, but is it going to knock me out of my seat?
Yeah.
That's really managing information skillfully, because you're figuring out which number is going to make the greatest impact.
Exactly.
And I'm a guy, I don't like percentages in general, but in this case, especially with smaller clients, to Brian's point, that owner is still a guy who makes a few $100,000 a year. So when he sees 6,000, he's like, I bought a grill last week for $6,000. Right? So, but I'm thinking that's about 8 to 9% of his transportation budget. An 8-9% decrease in your transportation budget is huge.
Right, okay. So go more based on the lines of what the decrease is overall versus just what the savings are.
Put yourself in the position of being a human being who makes a few $100,000 a year, who owns a business, and think about which number is most impactful to you.
And you know, to me, maybe to tighten it up a little bit, is that if there's any kind of growth projections, where I think he said he had some growth, and I may have not come out of this conversation, but I know there's some growth there. Factor in the growth as well too, because now what does it look like? Hey, if you're gonna grow 20%, 25%, 30%, whatever your projections are, now what's that gonna do to that savings as well? It could get bigger. So you want him to get it in the sense that, okay, it might be only $6,000, but guess what? As that starts going up and I start shipping more, now that number's gonna grow for me as well.
Right, that 6 builds to 10 or to 15.
Right, and you could put out scenarios, you know, it don't have to be like way wild stuff, but you can put some two other scenarios and say, hey, at 20%, or if you hit your goal of 35% you wanna get to, this is what it's gonna look like.
So keep it realistic in a sense,
Yeah.
but have a
It's
realistic.
like, just like he said, speak to what you think is going to move him at that point.
Actually, you could add, because Lou asked you handling charge, well, how much is gonna save? And I think you said about $200 a week. So if that's 10,000 a year, now it's about $60,000-$70,000 saving. That's not
That's
much
true.
substantial.
Didn't you have an additional handling in there?
Yep.
And you didn't put the savings to additional handling in there, because that was 30%. So you forgot that portion of it. So that could have made that number grow, he's right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You just put up a slide that had $6,000 on it, you had another 10 in your back pocket, you didn't put it out there? Come on now.
Yes.
Alright.
It's good, very good point.
Alright.
We never slip money into the customer's back pocket. We always show it to them.
All right, so Andy, did he meet his objectives here? Did he test and summarize?
Yeah, he did a very good job of slowing it down, making it conversational. He also included the war story when he brought up his customer from San Francisco. I thought he did a great job of building the pain as well.
So, and you said he enhanced the pain as well on that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Was that war story? You said you got a customer from San Francisco,
Very similar business model as Phil's.
and what was the ultimate result from that? From what you did with the customer in San Francisco?
So the ultimate result was we ended up getting coverage on them after they, kind of like Phil had said, they didn't need it, and they saw the financial impact when they would have losses. Well, then what I did is I brought in capital and showed them how quickly we could mitigate the risk and increase their cash flow. So what that ended up doing is, even though there's still going to be sometimes damages and missing packages that happen, at least they had that fallback on the fact that they knew that they were going to get their money back in full and be able to still appease their clients.
So let's talk about that portion then, the capital portion. What do you think as far as, he never had damages, right? He had hardly ever had damages. Now he's shipping with us and he gets a damage, right? And a missing package. So now what he's trying to say is like, I never had damages. Now all of a sudden I've got a damage because I'm shipping with you. Why the hell do I need to have insurance coverage? Just don't damage my package.
That
Or
actually
don't lose my
tripped me
package.
up. That actually did trip me up a little bit because it's.
Because the response could be, and I've already talked, the response could be, if I go back to FedEx, I had no damages. So why am I gonna pay for insurance coverage? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's where I kind of, like, I can build the value as hard as I could with capital, but if the value's not there to his point where he's like, well, I didn't have that with FedEx, the only response I had, and maybe you can help me with this, was the shipping's a risk of doing business, right? But I feel like if some clients you tell that to are gonna be like, no one's ever said that, you know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, real quick.
Yeah.
Slides, right? We said the 4 things. So, product service,
Yep.
we had that. What does it do? You had that. How does it apply to the customer?
I guess that's where I didn't have, because the impact would be the coverage, but how did it apply?
Well, what's the impact to the customer? I'm gonna pay more in, really, when you look at this, he's gonna pay more in insurance value, because now he insures every single package that goes out of his warehouse. What is that gonna cost him? If it's $1, say it's just $1, make it easy math. How many packages do you have?
He has 50, no,
How many a day?
a day, let's call it 50.
50 times 252, that's $12,600 that he's gonna pay in insured value. And he's had what, one damage at 500?
Yeah, and he's already been declaring value as well, so he's already declaring value, but the issue is that process didn't work for him.
So he is declaring value already.
Yeah.
Alright.
That was why I was saying, you're already declaring value, why don't we at least lower that cost, bring in one of my resources, and then ultimately mitigate that risk. And you did trip me up on that because I didn't really know how to respond to, well, I didn't have that with FedEx. I was gonna go down the route of, understandably so, it's a risk of doing business, but at least we're bringing a solution to, when you did have damages with FedEx, what did they do for you?
Did he declare value at FedEx too?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Let me restate my objection. I'd like you to remove capital from your mind a minute, which I know is hard.
It is for me.
Yeah.
It is.
Because you're
Who's the capital
Mr.
king?
Capital right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying to you is that you lost my package and I don't trust your service. You said, well, I'll clean it up after I screw it up.
Right.
And, well, I understand you don't like that answer, but dude, it happens. Well, how often should I expect this? I don't really know. I mean, it happens, dude.
Right.
You're the biggest carrier in the United States. You have brand new facilities going up all over the place. We just went through the most immaculate peak I think I've ever seen in my career. We provide exceptional service right now. Okay, so what could you use to substantiate that we have amazing service versus trying to convince me to sign a capital policy?
Lean on the fact of the technology enhancements that we're having in regards to automation to take out the human error aspect. And then also lean on, even though it's that one package, the reliability of the 99% that we have in regards to actually making the end delivery on time with the package actually in its original state.
So his reliability right now is what?
0 probably. Or well, what do you mean by that? I apologize.
Well, like you should have a pre-call or something that shows where his reliability
that was
stands
the
right
first
now.
package that had ever even had an issue. So
Okay, and
But overall, what's the reliability on the account since he started shipping?
that's a good question. Not 100% sure.
or the last 5 customers you looked at.
Right.
Or, God help you, if you're not looking at it, you should be before every call because it helps to build this confidence or figure out if you're supposed to hedge your bet when you walk in a customer. 8 months ago, Sandeep would have been like, I'm not gonna talk at all about that, right?
Yeah.
Because it was terrible.
Yeah.
We've made tremendous advances since then and now everything's cleaning it. So if the last 3 customers you walked in, their last month was at 99% effective, listen dude, not only is this the first one for you, but I've been in 20 customers this week and every one of them is above 99%. We are the most reliable carrier in the world. Now with that said, when we're 1% loss or 0.4%, that's still 1 package out of every 100.
Right.
So if you ship 100 with me, something's gonna happen to one. What I'm trying to do is help you with the one.
Right. Okay.
It's not 1 package that got lost. It's 99% effective delivering your packages on time. I again just used information to my advantage versus to my detriment.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one more thing on the capital, because these are rugs, so more than likely they're coming from overseas on a container. So if you can position, see, okay, well, have you lost any containers, any damages? Those are expensive shipments, and you position cargo, then this becomes less of an issue. Why do I gotta declare value with you?
Right.
All right, so what areas we want to work on for the next one?
Making sure I would say making sure all sides are clear in regards to how it impacts the client, right? Because we said we had everything except for that, right? Isn't that what we said?
Well, first of all, I think we need to make sure if you've got any kind of quantifications up there, we need to quantify it fully, everything. Every penny that's up there.
Additional, anything,
Yeah, any accessorials, any of that stuff, that's all money. I mean, it's all stuff that has to go in there. You have to account for all that. You can't just go, okay, here's the transportation spend, but we're not gonna include fuel surcharge, residential, delivery surcharge, or any of the other stuff. That makes a big difference, right? It takes your charge from, $7 or $8 to a $15 shipment right away.
Right.
So anytime you have a savings at that point, put that in there. The second thing, what else? What's another thing that we want to focus on? What do you got, Matt?
It seems like on the things that you know more and you're more confident in, it's harder to deliver the message because you're not using lay terms always. I think it was like during capital and CTP, it went kind of fast. I think Lou stopped and said what's subsidized.
Yep.
I don't think everybody would know that. So the things that you know the best, you may have to practice on so you don't explain it at too high of a level.
So you're not going to use. You're going to use customer
Jargon versus UPS.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And that one's easy to fix. So what else? One more thing. We're going to try. What else could we do? What else could he improve on?
I think as Matt said, like CTP, I mean, Lou said, okay, well, when you have the number, let me know. So one, you can't really know what the number is till you submit. And two, I think little explanation, I can't give you the money because we hand out, I don't want to say hand out, explain the process and its approval code that lets you buy stuff you need versus, handing on money.
You could have ran the CTP and found out what the dollar amount is. Because how long does it take you to run a CTP?
I ran it when I did Phil's. It literally took like 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you could have ran it and got a number here,
Yeah, just put it up there.
and you would have had a number of, hey, I've got $3,000 that I can give you for computer equipment, right? And then now you can explain what's going to take place here and how that's going to benefit him and how the program actually works. But other than that, those are easy things. You can change that. I'm looking for one other behavior that we can work on.
I would make. Oh, sorry.
No, no.
I was thinking maybe make sure that when you present a solution, you make it as impactful as possible. Make sure you have it tailored to the audience, because I think that might have been what kind of fell flat with Capital, was just the way you presented it wasn't, what he needed.
So we will.
I like that moment, but let's tweak it that for a bit.
Okay.
We had a problem or objection or whatever we want to call it, and what we really didn't do is explore with the customer what their real need or concern was, right? Instead, you determined that the concern was the loss that's being experienced from it. And because it's okay to anticipate, but you have to ask questions to verify. So if I brought that up as a concern, I would want to ask those questions of, okay, so tell me, what is it about this that has you so concerned? Because obviously packages do get damaged and lost. So what is it about this one that's making you so upset?
So address a concern when it's presented to you, hopefully.
Well,
Explore it in a sense.
let's take it as an objection. Okay? When somebody objects, we listen, we acknowledge what they said, and then we ask them about it. So tell me more about that. So when I say, I'm upset about this lost package, I can understand where having a lost package would upset you. Can you tell me specifically what's bothering you about it? Well, I know this shit happens, but dude, you didn't pay. You took 5 weeks and you didn't pay me, and when you did, you gave me 100 out of 5. That sucks. I tell you what, I got a solution for you. Here's the other one. Well, I just started shipping with you. I told you I had no damages with them, and now I'm with you for a month and a half, and you guys lose one. I mean, flat lost it. You don't know where my damn rug is. It makes me think I can't trust you. Now, if I say that, can you even as a person say to me, well, dude, shit happens, but I can pay for it afterwards? That doesn't feel right, right?
No.
It's because you missed the middle part. You didn't converse with me and understand what my real objection was, therefore you couldn't solve my problem.
Right. So didn't really explore into what
So
that
you
was.
need to address, he needs to address the objection for what it is.
You need to explore the objection, understand what it means. So objection handling is a really great place for you to go, because everybody in this room right now is going, I have no idea what I should do with objection handling. I'm not even sure I acknowledge when it is an objection.
Because not everybody's gonna just be like, oh, yeah, okay, thank you, yeah, well, sure, oh, John, this is great, thanks a lot. I mean, that's not, what happened, you know, what happened when we went into, Nuts on Clark, right? They grabbed your nuts and put them right.
Okay, is that still on tape? Holy cow. We got 3 shits from Lou and him. We're gonna get fired, Brian.
Well, we also have footage of you kicking his chair too, so it's
Well,
just.
that was okay. At least I didn't physically abuse him. It was just his chair.
But really, what did they do? They went in there and they said, right off the gate, the brother, the sister, she's like, boom, 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 boom. You guys suck, you do this, you know, I mean, it was just one after another, rapid fire,
Yeah,
right?
it was. It was like getting hit with bullets.
And me and Fred are just, sitting there, okay, let's see how he's gonna handle this. Let's see how this goes down. And to your credit, you did a great job. But you know, you talked about it, you kind of found out what was kind of happening, and you turned it around. But to his point, you gotta actually get to the root of the matter, you know?
Absolutely.
Get to the heart.
Okay.
All right, so for now, for the next one, you're gonna do, quantify all dollars,
All savings.
everything.
Yeah.
And any type of scenarios that would help.
Growth scenarios.
Yes,
Yeah.
if it applies, don't just put stuff out there.
Right.
If it doesn't apply, then don't do it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna work on, objection handling for the next one.
Okay.
And I think that would be a good thing for us.
Okay.
It's actually kind of like, the next step from what we were at before.
Well, that's good, at least. I'm not
Yeah,
going-
so we met the other things, and now we're moving on to something else that we found, so I think that's good.
Okay.
So now, when you go into the next one, you know, obviously, we're gonna look at this, we're gonna make sure you're still testing the summarize, you still wanna enhance pain and war story, but then you also wanna add in these other two. All right, good
Excellent.
job.
Thank you.
Thanks.